Alright, here we go. Hello everybody, welcome back to our Darksouls 3 completion guide. If you are wondering why I sound like garbage, it's because I just recently woke up, and as has been previously stated, been recovering from an illness. I've also been horrendously dreading this experience since I went to bed. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fan of what you get out of the DLC. I'm not a fan of what you do in the DLC. But wouldn't be a complete guide if I didn't complete it. So you're going to see me swap weapons a lot in this gameplay, game type. This is gonna collapse underneath your feet. We're gonna go to the right first. That'll be a wolf. You want to kill it as quickly as possible. If it gets that howl off, which it did, unfortunately, it's going to start a cascade of events that are going to cause you to not enjoy your life. Never a pipe answer. This won't be so bad after all. Oh, they're still howling. Never mind. This is gonna be awful. Right, I only get 3 casts of that. Hope you like wolves, because you're gonna be fighting a lot of them. We're done. No more doggos. Alright, cool. Off to a great start. Surprisingly so. Maybe I've gone through this so many times without being appropriately leveled for it that this is actually going to be fun. I am not holding my breath over that statement though. Alright. So, these enemies that are trees, if you see the hair blowing, they are not trees. There are a lot of trees like them that do not have their hair blowing. Those are not enemies. These ones with their hair blowing are enemies. They are weak to fire. Fire will stagger them, which is good, because they have 3 different types of attacks. The first one is they will just blow ice on you. It causes you to build up frostbite very quickly. The second attack is they will light little fires on the end of their branches, and the fires will then leave the branches and then come flying towards you. And the third attack that they do is a grab. If they grab you, they will pick you up, blow ice on you until you basically freeze, and then they'll set you down gently, which is kind of nice, but you know, we don't want them to do that anyways. You know what, maybe this won't be nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. Because of the levels I have. Who knows? Maybe I'm getting all worked up over nothing. Maybe this will be just plain and simple. If this pile of wolves is anything to go by. I'm not holding my breath still. So we're gonna run around. Typically you do not want to run around in this area or you will get swarmed by all the wolves. But as all the wolves are like no longer amongst the living, I should actually probably deposit a lot of these items in my bag or in my box. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, I think I spoke too soon. Stupid fucking trees. And of course these tree fires heat seek. They wouldn't be in Darksouls if they didn't. What is with the hitboxes? Seriously. There's an ultra great sword. It should have a little bit more range than a fucking fist weapon. Of course, there we go. What am I thinking? Of course, that's not gonna work. Can I just? Alright, one swing will kill the wolves with the ultra great sword. Oh no. Oh no. No, not again, not again. I don't want to do this again. I want to get through this with as few deaths as possible that aren't on boss fights. Okay. How much damage does this do? Not enough. Cool. Alright, so I was explaining earlier how about the trees and how if they have their hair not moving, they're not alive. The one next to this one that is living is not alive. It does look like the tree enemies, but it's not. Its hair's not moving. That's actually just a tree. You'll come across a lot of these fly enemies. Ah, shit. The fly enemies are... Oh, there's another one. Where? Oh, way the fuck over there. Okay. These fly enemies, you're going to come across a lot of them. They're not terribly difficult to defeat, but they do have a bit of an annoying tendency that there's a lot of them in one spot, and when their eyes glow red, they will spit, I guess, technically maggots at you, and if you get hit by the maggots, you're not only going to take ticking damage, but your bleed is going to massively go up. So we're actually going to preemptively have a torch on us, because it works the same way that it does in the cathedral, where pulling out the torch will stop the bleeding. And for you, those of you who are wondering why I'm still using this blessed shield, don't worry, we'll be replacing it very soon. So that is the big doggo. Ah, no. It has been kind of memed on in the community and called Discount Sif. It kinda is. Unfortunately, Discount Sif hurts. You're going to want to memorize these attack patterns and when to dodge. The hardest one is probably going to be figuring out when to dodge for the sideways charge, which is probably going to happen in the very near future. This dog you don't have to kill all the way. You just have to kill like a third of its HP and it fucks off. But don't worry, you'll fight it at least 2 more times. Once as the boss fight, and then once more at a period of time in which you do not want to deal with it because it's gonna summon like 50,000 fucking wolves. That's a problem for the very near future. Not right now. Another new enemy. Millwood Knights. Millwood Knights are kind of bastards. They have a very kind of irregular moveset. And they have a metric ass pile of health. They do a metric ass pile of damage. Think of them as like mini bosses. You're just gonna wanna kind of avoid them and then attack when you have the opportunity. That's kind of gonna be the mantra of this entire game, or this entire DLC playthrough, is avoid and then retaliate. As long as you're keeping an eye out for the blowing hair in the wind, you're gonna be a lot better off dealing with. Alright, so that tower is where we're gonna head to next. Problem is that tower has 2 archers in it, one of which is a red eye. These arrows will explode shortly after they go off. That guy has a Quake Stonehenge. We don't want to deal with him and the archers at the same time, so we're going to try and pull him away from the tower. I don't think it's going to matter. I really don't. No, it's not. Far away can we get? Not ever far enough. Get him around the corner, maybe. I think I'm out of their aggro range. The Quake Stonehenge literally looks like just a chunk of rebar on the end of a pole. However, problem with the Quake Stonehenge is that it actually has a weapon art. Don't worry about trying to farm enemies for their weapons in the DLC. They made it so that way every single time that if you wanted a weapon, you will get it. It is existing somewhere on the ground, somewhere in the DLC. Gonna run past the wolf and Millwood Knight. I'm gonna run up to the tower. The first of the 2 archers is going to come down to greet us. And we will engage him in single combat, hopefully. Cool. You war cried. This is when their movesets become irregular. If you were looking at them and being like, these guys don't look that irregular, this is why. Because he hadn't war cried. Alright. Titanite shard. So, now we're actually going to swap out the Estus ring for the Silver Ring Dragon Crest. Because being quiet here is very beneficial to our success in this next part. Also, be wary, there's going to be a metric ass pile of Titanite lizards all over the place. So being quiet allows us to sneak up, get a backstab, knock his fat ass from the tower. It's going to make that next part very easy. Now to conserve HP, we're going to swap from the Dragon Crest to the Silver Cat ring, because there's no more enemies in this tower with the exception of the Gem Lizard. But we do have to climb up to the top and then start falling down. As I said before, be slow, be methodical. It's going to save your life. Top of the tower is the Captain Ashes, which will allow us to buy the Millwood armor and their arrows for about 800 souls a pop. So if you're rolling in it, and you want to use the bow and the arrows, feel absolutely free to do so. We are going to go and fall off over here now. There's going to be a lizard right here, which is going to have twinkling Titanite on it. Kill him like the rest. And that is the Millwood Tower. Now, the Ethereal Oak Shield, which we should have grabbed. I didn't grab it. It is still in the tower. Never mind. We are not done with the Millwood Tower. Can't believe I overlooked the only thing I ever come to this tower for, really. Rip my life. Millwood Oak, or the Ethereal Oak Shield is going to be on the enemy down here. I got sidetracked by the Gem Lizard. The Ethereal Oak Shield, similarly to a Blessed Shield and the ring of the Sun Princess, or whatever it is, actually will restore HP at a similar rate to the Sun Princess ring. You can actually flicker this item as well. It's like 2 HP every 3 seconds. So you can actually equip the Sun Princess ring and the Ethereal Oak Shield, which is also a 100% physical reduction shield. It is just not great against fire. Just make that known. Between the Ethereal Oak Shield and the Sun Princess ring, you can gain a lot of HP fairly quickly. So if you actually get into a situation where you're sitting there and you're trying to be like, oh, I'm so low on HP, what do I do? You can actually just do that to regain some HP if you don't have any more Estus. It's actually kind of busted. The fact that it's a physical block 100 shield is also ridiculously useful. I would have actually ran into the DLC and picked this up if this was not a guide video. But seeing as it's a guide video, I wanted to make sure I was going through the entirety of the game with the things that you would normally have at this point in time in the game. Do you have a dog companion as well? He does. Take care of the small problem before it becomes a big one. The only thing that's worthy of note about the Ethereal Oak Shield, though, that is not the fact that it's a 100% block shield, is that it does not have a parry. This is the worst situation to be in. Never mind, it gets worse. Also, if I do miss an item in the DLC, I apologize. When it comes to the DLC, I am significantly more used to running through and grabbing the items that I need, and then getting the fuck out of Dodge. I typically don't fight that guy, so I've never seen him do that. Seems rolling isn't super effective to get behind them, just running around like a jackass is. I believe, if memory serves, you're actually supposed to go through this area roughly around level 60. So we're not that far out of it. 30 levels is pretty significant, but Ring City is supposed to be around like 100, so by the time we get to Ring City, we'll be hopefully level appropriate. I don't feel like I should have gotten hit there. Perfect, just enough HP to hate myself for the next part. So we're gonna run like a jackass, and now that everything's dead in this particular plateau area, having the Ethereal Oak, by the way, even if it's not on your person, like even if it's not equipped, like in your main hand or your offhand, it will still restore HP. So it is worth, if you have the strength to wield it, which isn't actually that difficult, but more so the carry weight to wield it, it is recommended that you just kind of have it on. The passive health regeneration is entirely worth it. I want to say there was an item up by this tower, behind the tower. Maybe I was wrong. To the best of my knowledge, the DLC does not change depending on what new game you are on. The difficulty will go up as per usual, but like the actual like it doesn't have like rings that you'll only find on New Game Plus, like the main game does. There's a lot of trees here, and this isn't even the biggest issue. Fall back to regain some stamina. It's been a bit rough since I've had to play without the Chloranthony. That'll change in the near future. Vitality would actually fix that. So there is a couple of Millwood Knights down there, and I believe a couple of wolves. That's not an enemy. As you can see, one of them has a bow. The other Millwood Knight's on his left. try. Ooh, thought I was. Am I heavy rolling with the? Yeah, I am heavy rolling with the Astora. By how much? A significant amount. Cool. Looks like I'm putting points in vitality anyways. Now that we got the wolves' attention, we're gonna fall back a bit. Yes, the teleporting dogs. Excuse me, I have my guard up. Go fuck yourself. Did a dog fall off? It did. It's hilarious. Alright, we have enough ash. We have enough Estus and FP to cast this 3 more times. I'm gonna try and remove one of these guys from the fight. How about we lock onto the other guy, please? Kind of hoping that I would have been out of the range, or had the tree between the line of sight and me and him. Okay, we're going to just let him fire that, dodge out of the way, grab the Millwood great bow, Titanite shards. We're gonna try not to die. Oh, it's a Quake Stonehenge. Rip. So much for that idea. Yep. Now we're at a solid point right now. We're going to put some distance between me and him. And we've got nearly every item. So we're just gonna bonfire last rested at. Which is going to put us all the way back here. Yes, I'm aware. But we're going to use a nice little trick to get back to where we were. We are going to run like a coward. Because all the wolves will respawn too. And the wolves will howl, and will call all of their friends. The big wolf, once you beat it, will actually fuck off for a bit. Is what is known as a scripted event. Now you may be asking, why would you effectively consign yourself to death like this? That's the secret, or not. If you quit out, it replaces all enemy placements. So we're actually going to just run past everything. We're going to quit out. And then we're going to continue. And we'll actually reset all enemy positions. So we're no longer being hunted. Problem is what's up this path. This is the only path we didn't go. Well, can you guess now? There's not much hope for you to try and defeat repeat hit and all its little doggos. So what we're gonna try and do, especially if it starts storming you, gotta try and top off. We're just gonna haphazardly huck fireballs, keeping your HP up. Hoping to hit more than one, but if we can't do that, then we're just going to start cleaving through them. 3 more Titanite shards for fighting it the second time. There's a reason why I went back and quit out, because I didn't want to have to run through that again. With no Estus. Nah. Cliff will break underneath of you. Fall down. Fall down. Fall down. Grab the soul packet. And then fall down one more time. And at the end of this path, it joins in with the other path that we could have taken, where all the wolves and the frozen trees were at the top of the cliff here, where the bugs were on the left. But we're going to keep moving forward, because there's no reason to look back right now. There's a little hole right here, we're going to fall down that, and here's the second bonfire of the world. Rest, reset, then continue on our merry way across the rickety-ass bridge. The inside of this church is an area that you're going to see a lot of. If not on your own personal playthrough, on mine. Hollow gem on the right. And this fine, upstanding gentleman is Wilhelm. It's fun that he knows who you are if you are doing the Lord of Hollows ending. You'll go in here, there's a locked door on the right that cannot be opened from this side. Another bonfire. And then Elfrida. If you just talk to her, she'll give you the chill bite ring. You don't need to talk to her anymore. You can just fuck off. Now, up this ladder, there's actually going to be nothing of import right now. Later on, there will be. As you've noticed, probably. There's a lot of painting supplies here. And this is the painted world of Ariandel, so kind of not to be surprised that there are so many paintings all over the place. But now that Wilhelm is just hanging out here, these Corvians don't care. They're going to run across the bridge again. I think I will be splitting up this particular DLC into 2 different parts. I think it would be the wise decision. 2 flies on the ceiling. You can either get them to come down to you or kill them out of range for a shriving stone. The gem lizard that's on the other side over here drops a large Titanite shard. This is one of the ones that we'd be going after if we were running into the DLC specifically for large Titanite shards. I'm gonna slide down. You know, with how much I use Black Flame, I probably could have just stuck with how much, with only two slots. Oh well. Going down this way, it's not a one-way trip or anything, but you'll see a lot of shriveled up crow-looking people. Not all of them are dead. Like this one down here isn't dead. They don't pose much of a real threat to you, though. You can actually just run past most of these guys. They don't even really give you much for souls either. The left here is a locked gate. The right here is your worst nightmare. That is a Corvian Knight. One of the, like, 4 or 5 that exist in this DLC. If you can attack them in the midst of their attack, it actually staggers them. But the problem is that if you can't, you're gonna get the full bruntal of its entire assault, and that's gonna hurt. They occasionally do, in fact, drop Titanite shards, or they'll typically drop large Titanite shards. They'll occasionally drop chunks, but there is easier things to kill and farm if you want chunks. Hell, it'd be even faster. It'd be faster and easier to farm the money to buy chunks. Chunks are like 12,000 a piece. Alright, the Scorpion over here in the corner is a friendly. You can talk to him. Tell him I am Ash. And he'll come in handy later. Simply put, he wants you to burn the painted world. It's actually the whole purpose of you being here. There is a prophecy when the ashes are to the flame will alighteth. And Lady Elfrida is the first ash to have entered the world, and you are the second. This has got a lot of different, like, shortcut ways, doors to open, etc. This guy will spew up toxic. We just want to get rid of him as quickly as possible. His friend. Now, the Corvians in this village will actually kind of attack you. They won't, like, they'll attack you less ferociously than even Hollows would. But, I mean, it is what it is. They'll still attack you. They'll, like, uncurl themselves a little bit. And then they'll, like, the bigger ones will spit up on you. Killing him, running around this corner here, will be another Titanite lizard. This one will give you 2 large Titanite. You're going to want to do, you're going to run, jump off to the platform out here. Here's the crow quills. It is a rapier and throwing weapon that you'll run into in the very near future. Another tip though, if you're just trying to get past the Corvian Knight, these alluring skulls will come in handy. Because we rested at the bonfire, the Corvian Knight's going to come back. You can literally just throw some alluring skulls over to the corner and run right past him. If you do that, don't bother with the items, just go. He's not going to be distracted for very long. Alluring skulls are actually quite useful in the DLC, at least this particular part of the DLC, because of the amount of enemies that you're going to be running into. Thinning the numbers is going to be kind of helpful. Now, down here, this is behind the locked gate. Get a plunging attack. You can open the door. And then over here is a symbol gem. Instead of running past the Corvian Knight, we're just gonna bonfire last rested at. Makes the coiled sword fragment is amazing. It actually makes farming a lot easier too, because you can run forward, kill a bunch of things, and then run. Or instead of running all the way back to the bonfire, you can just teleport back. But yeah, there's your Corvian Knight just hanging out. Don't want to deal with him. Alright, so this next part, you're going to run into the other Corvian Knight. The one that has the crow quills. He is going to be equally as annoying to deal with as the other ones. Kind of play defensively. Don't worry, he'll respawn when we die too, and that's not an if we die, it is a when. Can rock down here. There'll be one falling from the sky. Then we can walk over here. One will try and push us off. A second one will try and push us off. Another one will fall from the sky. This one right here that'll try and spit up. And then there'll be one more around the corner. Step 1. Run around. Climb up the ladder. And that bridge to our left, we're going to drop down onto it. Inside the building is one of the first door shortcuts we can open. Lead us back out here. I don't think there's anything back here. Not really. Yeah, I hope you like screeching birds, because you're going to hear them a lot in this particular portion of the walkthrough. Cross the bridge real quick. There's an item over here. Soul packet. We're going to go back inside and walk the entire way through. Immediately back outside. Going to walk up this wall, around the wall, onto the roof. The 2 Corvians over here. And the crow talons. But now that we've grabbed everything from this section, we can just drop back down and climb up the ladder. There's going to be a lot of crows on this roof. All them will cast magic. Pretty much everything that these guys drop, unfortunately, are kind of useless. Now what we're going to do, since we have the Corvian Knight dead, we're actually going to just drop down in here. We're going to kill all the spitting Corvians that are in here. And get the Slave Knight set. That's not really a shortcut, it's just a way back out. I'm gonna go back in this house, up the ladder. Drop back down on the bridge. Up the ladder. And go down, and then back up this ladder. Across this way. This gem lizard is a bait. There's a Corvian Knight hanging above the wall. Blends in really well. But, because we are who we are... Oh no, I just lost the gem lizard. I don't care about the Corvian. Well, then we're going to use another trick. At any point in time, you miss a gem lizard. And if he wants to be stuck, I'm not going to argue with him. I was going to just luring skull. Alright, never mind. There he goes. It's not going to work. I'll have to come back for him. The gem lizard will fall down here. And actually, if you're lucky, go roll off and continue rolling, and then fall off the ledge there. But we're going to carefully fall down here. Inside, there's a couple more flies. Right, Pyromancy Flame. And a Dark Gem. I have to kill the Corvian Knight now. Not too tough. This is a trick if you ever miss a gem lizard. There's an item on that roof. I'm gonna have to grab that on my way out. There's a trick where if you ever miss a gem lizard, because it teleports away, there's a thing you can do in Dark Souls 3 that makes it so that way you'll never miss a gem lizard ever again. I don't know how to make that jump. Nope. I didn't jump. Not really a higher place I can drop down to it on, so I can only assume that I have to actually clear the jump. Interesting. Yeah, I do have to jump from that to the roof. Whatever. We'll figure it out. Oh, that'll probably work. I'm just countering it. Not even worth. Oh well. So now the Corvian village is basically cleared out. The gem lizard, if you ever miss a gem lizard, you can actually go to where you need to be, where it would be spawning. You can quit out. Keep in mind, this is the reason why we had to kill the Corvian, by the way. is because he would have been respawned back up there with full health. And that's not what we want. But your gem lizard will be back, allowing you to get a second shot at it. If we cross over here, finally, there is an item on the roof. There's several windows into this building. Doing so is going to be a little unfortunate for us to go through, but we're gonna do it. There's rafters you can fall down onto. Unfortunately for us, there's not one, but two Wilhelm Knights in here. We're gonna see if we can engage this one without aggroing the other one. I highly doubt that, but we can kill one. Yep. And I'm candy caned. Top off, top off. Alright, now it's a one-on-one fight. This is a little bit more fair. If you're running through for items, I don't recommend dropping into this church, because that is a fight you will lose. If you're running through this content because you actually can go through this content, I recommend doing so, because that is a fight you can actually win. If you continue your happy ass back this way, you will find a well. The well has an enemy in it. Maybe knocking him down wasn't the most prolific idea. And that worked out. Could have swore there was an item back here for that reason. Yeah, that's why I don't come back here anymore. Oh well. If you didn't want to drop down from the rafters, you can either drop off of the roof or you can climb down this handy dandy ladder that was on the side the entire time. I really need to deposit some items. You can actually go over here. If you're running past the Corvians, I don't recommend doing this, but you can open the front gate. But if you open that gate, it invites the Corvians in, which is not what you want. And instead of going inside the big spooky building, we're going to go around the side of the big spooky building, so there's one more tree and an item. I believe it's a soul packet. I forgot about that shit-tacular hitbox. Young White Branch. And then maybe the soul packet? Nope, not even. I guess I was wrong on both fronts. Now, inside the big spooky church is a fight with none other than your best pal, Wilhelm.
I've seen your kind, time and time again. Every fleeing man must be caught. Every secret must be unearthed. Such is the conceit of the self-proclaimed seeker of truth. But in the end,
He has the Onyx Blade, which, if as a pyromancer, it works quite well. Because its buff actually staggers, but it requires like 15 and 15 for stats. Thing is, he won't actually fight you on the snow. So you can either do what I'm doing and cheese him But you have to get past him in order to proceed with the DLC. So what you can do is actually this. No! Fine. You can actually two-hand your shield, bait him out into the snow, then you can just push him off the side. Although sometimes you push him off right there in particular, it doesn't always work. But you kind of need him dead in order to proceed, because he has a key. But that is something you can do. That's probably the most you've ever seen me quit out in a section of the game. Oh well. I suppose we can fight him legitimately.
Time and time again. Every fleeing man must be caught. Every secret must be unearthed.
Alright, he does that.
Such is the conceit of the self-proclaimed seeker.
Vow of silence. We're gonna remove the silver cat. I should probably not be standing in the middle of the way here. We're gonna equip. What can we equip? We're gonna equip the Color Anthony. Unequip the gloves. We're gonna equip the good old PvEVP poker weapon, which should work against him. I hate how he heals. I should actually backstab that. As you've seen, you can actually trade with him, but it's not recommended.
My lady. Sworn oath.
But yes, he drops the contraption key and the onyx blade, which is a pretty sweet weapon, honestly. The onyx blade, EED&D, but its weapon art is it buffs it with black flame. And actually, the thing that's really nice about it is just looking at the AR. Unupgraded, it's 243, and then you buff it with the weapon art. It goes up to 388, so it gains like 145 AR when you buff it. This is the unnamed painting child. If you look over here, there's a bonfire right on the other side of this gate that can only be opened from the other side. First time I saw that, I was pissed. I was like, I got all this way and I don't even get a bonfire? Nah, you do. You just fall off and roll off over here. But we're gonna open this door so that way we can use the shortcut later. We're going to not use the onyx blade though, even though it is technically, actually it's a great sword and it weighs more than the Chaos Astora, which is an ultra great sword. That's hilarious to me. Alright. I'm gonna deposit some items, but I can do that in downtime. We're gonna end the first part of Ariandel here. The second part is a lot shorter, but it has 2 bosses in it. So thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you in the next one.